Hello everyone, this is Babamot. Welcome to another Homeworlds game commentary. This game is between tseiger and Will, and both of these I picked this game as I was going through games pretty randomly, because both of these players have been playing for a very long time. These are the old masters. They have both been playing much longer than me, and so I'm really interested to see how they do today. And by today, I mean starting on April 1st of 2023. Although that is not the date on which I am recording this video. All right, tseiger going first. Takes a yellow banker. Will takes a yellow Goldilocks, which is not okay. I was just looking at, so Will's username here is a Homeworlds reference, y2, so a yellow 2, blue 1, g3. So neither of them picked that exact homeworld, but tseiger's homeworld is at least a banker, like Will's username suggests. But the colors and sizes are swapped. Okay, moving on. Both players build. Tseiger trades for blue. Will also trades for blue. Both players get medium ships. That's opened up the larges. Both players spread out to get access to the larges. I'm a little surprised Will moves to... yeah, Will does... I feel like Will has done this to me sometimes. He'll move to a yellow star initially so that he can move that little ship into a more aggressive position outside my homeworld later. Tseiger, I think, is almost certainly going to build that large... Oh, he was thinking about a shopping spree to build all of the blues. Oh, you know, gosh, I missed this, and I'm embarrassed. If Will hadn't moved to a yellow star, tseiger could right now do a blue shopping spree, take all of the large blues, and Will wouldn't be able to overpopulate anywhere. But as it is, because Will picked a yellow star, if tseiger does a shopping spree, then Will overpopulate the blues in Altair, and the game will be pretty close to reset. It'll be pretty even. So, excellent choice by Will. I don't know why I've never seen a situation quite like this before. I'm really surprised that it went that way. Okay, well, I was just blindly thinking, okay, people spread out their ships, and then they'll keep on building one at a time. But tseiger actually sacrificed the G3 and was preparing for the shopping spree before he noticed that issue. So interesting. Good on Will. All right, they both build larges thus. Tseiger now, though, can build the last B3. Will can't prevent that. Yeah, so that's a pretty good-sized leg up for tseiger here. I'm curious right now why my games don't usually go this way. You know what? I bet it's because I don't usually take yellow home stars, and so I am seldom in a position where we've both spread out this quickly early in the game. I'm whatever color, if both of us are pursuing blue to begin with, I will often trade one of my early ships for a yellow so that I can spread out, and that probably bogs things down more than... Maybe that bogs things down more than I'm thinking. More than I usually imagine. Okay, Will trades for red. Yeah, that's fine. Tseiger also gets red. Will gets more red. Seeker trades for a yellow now. Yeah. Nothing too scary yet. Oh boy, Will gets a y3. They've traded away their last blue ship at home. And even though they've got access to blue technology because of the star, I don't usually like to trade away my last ship of a color. I'd prefer to move it out rather than trade it. That's funny. They cleaned out the blue bank and then started trading all of the blues in for other colors, which I can't blame them. Other colors are usually more useful for sacrificing. But I've done things like this, but never quite so extremely. 4 pieces just went back to the bank in back-to-back trades. All right, Seeger builds more yellow. Will can also build yellow if they feel like it. Ooh, moving their green out of their home. I don't like that very much. Home is a great place to build as a rule. It's will always have a blue there. It's a I always try to keep a green at home. So I don't like that move. I would rather move out the large yellow since or spread out the reds. Yeah, getting the yellow out of there gives Will a foothold in a new colony and gets the ship matching a star out of their home. Okay, Seeger has their eye on green now. Maybe they feel like yellow's a stalemate. Nobody wants to build the last small. Building red, that opens the mediums. But I don't think Seeger would mind if they each got 1 medium. Oh, interesting. Will trading a medium red out for a medium green. That's one way to do it. If Will wanted to be better prepared to compete in the red economy, though, I think they should have spread their reds out rather than trading one away. Although the trading for the G2, I mean, they can sacrifice the G2 at some point to leapfrog in some color, but that's not something that they're likely to need terribly soon. That move surprises me. Let's see if they commit to it. They do. Let's see what Seeger does. Yeah, builds the medium red. That's more like what I would do. Will builds medium red. I think that's the right choice now. I think it was the last, well, not the right choice the previous turn necessarily, but all right, Seeger trading for yellow. Yeah, building mediums and then trading them for other colors is a nice tactic. Will spreading out their greens. That makes Beetlejuice a more attractive invasion target for Seeger now. Although, if Seeger were to invade Beetlejuice with the B3, Will could counter-invade in Altair, and I guess things would come out even-ish. So I guess putting more in Beetlejuice is okay. Having green and blue together, green and blue is like peanut butter and jelly. You can build more ships and you can make them whatever color you want. That makes a nice colony. That surprises me a little. Seeger moving to a new yellow star. The main thing that says to me is that they're taking a large yellow out of the bank when tseiger, I think, would want to leave the large yellow in the bank so that they could try to get a chance to build it. Tseiger's got a big yellow advantage. Although I think probably what's happening is they want to get the blue out of their home so it doesn't match the blue star. But they can't build more blue at a yellow star. But I guess it's safer in a way. They're just getting a head start. Or, or... Oh, geez, okay. Multi-purpose move. Yeah, it separates the blues. More importantly, I think they're heading for exactly what I was suggesting before, but instead of invading Betelgeuse with the B3 from Altair and leaving Altair defenseless, they're pushing forward their additional large to invade Betelgeuse with. Okay. What does Will do? If I'm Will, and at least if I'm thinking clearly, I would strongly consider breaking these ships up, separating them so that if tseiger invades, I can just move one away. Will wants to build that last yellow. That was the first thing that came to my mind earlier when I saw tseiger had taken the Y3 out of the bank. And yeah, tseiger should probably defend their home star rather than invading Betelgeuse immediately. Since, well, it's probably honestly more expensive than Will can afford to sacrifice the Y3 to overpopulate tseiger's yellow home star. But Will wanted to make the threat anyway. Tseiger is going to spread out their yellows to defend against it, even though I don't think Will can afford to lose the large ship, but tseiger defends anyhow. Okay. Will spreads out their red. My thought is they want to continue building reds, but at this point, if I'm Will, I'm tseiger. I'm strongly considering invading Betelgeuse, and they do. Ooh, you know what? What's extra nice about that, since Will very kindly took the Y1 out of the bank, moving the B3 away puts the Y3 back in the bank, so whatever Will does, tseiger is going to get to build the Y3. Boy, tseiger has, I think, really been doing a good job here. Oh, okay, well, well, I'm going to claim that I only missed that because I only had a few seconds to think about it. Will defends their colony in a pretty good way by destroying it, but it takes out one of tseiger's large ships. So I think that was actually probably Will's best move. It also puts a yellow back in the bank, so tseiger can't build the large yellow without sacrificing their G3 to do it. So good on Will again. What does tseiger do now? More green. Yeah, I think that's acceptable. Will spreads out the yellows. It's going to be hard for Will to build more yellow when there's so few. If Will builds a medium yellow, then tseiger gets the large, so I don't know that spreading out the yellows is actually going to do much for Will here. Tseiger makes an investment, taking the Y3 out of the bank. Will... I mean, they can build the Y2, but that gives the Y3 to tseiger. They could, there should be a name for this, moving another ship into tseiger's investment world. The phrase that comes to my mind is covering the investment, but that probably means something different in financial worlds. Looks like Will's just not going to worry about it building green, but that's that doesn't do anything about Seeger's impending investment build. If they do that, I'm pretty sure Seeger's going to build a Y2, then they'll build a Y3. Let's see if Will comes up with something else to do. Okay, they're going to build the Y2. And Seeger will build the Y3 somewhere. And yeah, then that colony's better. It's that way they've got a large, both colonies. And Will's pretty significantly behind again, unfortunately. Let's see what Will does now. Building more red. Will does have a head start on reds. That could be their salvation. Seeger. I think they could spread out the reds. I think if I'm Seeger, I want to move a red back home so that I wouldn't have to sacrifice in case of invasion, and it gives me another place to build reds. The large reds are going to be available quite soon. Seeker does have the only blue ships. So if they keep building blue, they could possibly monopolize, but I think the reds are more important right now, since the larges are just about to open up. Yeah, if I'm Will, I think I build an R2, or else spread out my reds so that I can do a shopping spree. Spreading out the reds, okay. That has just made Homeworlds into a reasonably attractive invasion target for the yellow or blue large. Probably the yellow, since Altair is more important to defend from counter invasion. Okay, maybe not. So if Seeger invades Formalhut, then if Will does a shopping spree, they take a large at home, large in caster, medium red in Formalhut. And then if Seeger sacrifices a little red to capture, say, the medium yellow, then Will just captures back. And the invasion has failed. So Seeger should do something about the large reds opening up. I think they should spread out their reds. I still prefer moving a red back to my home here. Seeger does too. Okay, Will can still do the shopping spree, but they'd be losing their only green. And Seeger would just build the last large red in response. They'd end up about the same in material. Well, their material change from the current position would be similar. Will would come up by a medium. But Will needs... and coming up a medium might be worth losing your only green ship for. They're thinking about building a little green first. I'm not positive they've got the time to spare, but that's what they're doing. Seeker might try to prevent the shopping spree somehow, but they can't really without trading away a small. I don't think invading Formalhut works. I think Seeger might just have to let the shopping spree go through. Okay, trading for green. That's pretty good, I suppose. Gives them a chance to rebuild the medium yellow, and gets Seeger closer to to having a factory, which would be really nice. Will have a factory when the greens are exhausted, but Will, I think, is definitely going to shopping spree. No? Building the medium yellow, that surprises me. I definitely thought that they'd been setting up for that, because now if they sacrifice the G3, they're not even losing their only green ship, since they already built one, and they could get a large red informal hut for defense. Don't they build the Y2? It's true that they need more yellow if they're ever going to overpopulate Seeger's home star. Seeger now sacrificing the G2 to build two reds. Yeah, that's fine. It yeah, I guess that was all right. I'm thinking from a couple of turns ago. I don't know if it was worth trading away the medium yellow for green and then sacrificing, but it seems like there might have been a better way to do it, but I don't know what it would be offhand. They needed to leapfrog past that medium to prevent Will from cleaning out all three large reds. And the shopping spree is less attractive for Will now, since there's just two large reds. I'm sure they'll build at least one of them. Will offers a draw. I wonder if that was a misclick. This doesn't seem drawish to me at all. Seeger takes the last R3 out of the bank. It's an interesting choice. I think if I'm Will, I would... this isn't something I see very often. I would be thinking that I want to move a Y2 to this red 3 star just to scare Seeger away, but then I would want to move away from that star to put it back in the bank so I could build it, and Seeger can just rediscover it. We're looking at something like a draw. So Will, although Will might be happy with a draw, since they're down in material, but I bet they won't invade anyway. I think Will is a little slower to invade than some other players. Less inclined to invade colonies. Okay, trading out their red 2 for a blue. I think I would have traded my small green instead. Yeah, that would open up the mediums for building, but Seeger wouldn't want to do it immediately because I'd overpopulate. And now Will doesn't have a red in their home. They've got plenty of red for sacrificing if it comes to it, but I like to have a red ship or star at home. Okay, Seeger now has a foothold on Will's doorstep. Will just building a red back. I'm a little worried for Will here. So Seeger can overpopulate Will's blue home star with a Y3 sacrifice, moving the B3 once and the B1 twice. That would be very expensive for Seeger. Will would actually end up with the large ship advantage, and Seeger would not have enough yellow to overpopulate Will's other star. They'd only have two yellow ships left. But Will wouldn't be able to build that Y3 immediately, and Seeger could build the Y3. So actually, I think Will should be more worried about that star demolition than they are. Seeger, do they do it? Do they blow the star? Just pushing forward a red. Okay. I think they didn't want Will to move two reds into Altair and blow up one of their large ships, so that's pretty sensible. What does Will do now? I think Will wants to... Should get that blue out of their home. Moving it to Caster would give them more space to build. Yeah, I think that's a good move. All right, tseiger now. Moving that little yellow away from the large red. Put it back in the bank. And if Will doesn't respond, tseiger can build it. Will can't build it. Will might want to just rediscover that star. Oh, tseiger doesn't commit, though. They build green instead. Yeah, that's all right. Gives them a factory. Sort of. When there's a green piece in the way, factories become harder because tseiger, if they sacrifice the G3, they'll have to build the G2 first, and it will have to be in their home in this case. That'll give them 3 greens together, and Will could overpopulate them with a Y3 sacrifice. But more ships is always good. I'm surprised they're not building the blues though. They need more blue in order to overpopulate Will's other star. Will moving their green out of their home. They've only got 1 ship at home now. That's all you need. And it's green, which is a color tseiger would have a really hard time overpopulating. In fact, well, I suppose moving the second green out of their home is probably actually safer. But even so, putting it in a colony with a green star is a little spooky. That could run into overpopulation issues. But it does set them up where they could build a G2 at home and have a true factory, although tseiger would also be getting a true factory in that case. Yeah, I think Will should build that G2 at home. No? Gonna invade the colony? I guess Will doesn't particularly need a factory right now because all that's left to build is blue, and Will doesn't want to build 2 blues at once, both because it puts them in danger of overpopulation and gives tseiger the chance to build the B3. Invading the colony? Yeah, okay. Let's... they'll need to sacrifice an R2 in order to capture both of these ships, though. If they take them one at a time, tseiger will just capture back. Unless tseiger runs for it, which they do. That way Will be able to just capture that that G1 if they feel like it. Are they going to capture? Yes. Let's see. I'm a little concerned that tseiger now has both blues and yellows positioned to where they could get 2 to Will's home in 1 shot. If... I don't think the machine's quite ready, though. If tseiger sacrifices Y3 to move in 2 yellows, then there's not enough to overpopulate. Tseiger would have to sacrifice G3 to build the yellow that they just sacrificed in Will's home. Will could defend by just building another yellow. Okay, so maybe Will doesn't have to worry too much yet, but tseiger is farther ahead on preparing to demolish Will's star than vice versa. Tseiger builds the green for a true factory setup. Will would probably like to prevent tseiger from building the B3 anytime soon. They might want to discover a B3 star with the G1 so that they've got an investment. Yeah, that's what they do. I always feel pretty good when I correctly predict what strong players like these guys will do. All right, tseiger, I think, will sacrifice the G3 rebuild the G3 and then build the 2 blues. Ooh, I would not build them both there. If you build them there, Will can destroy most of your Doomsday Machine. It costs him 2 mediums to do it, but it's materially it's a step up for Will, and defensively it's really important, because otherwise you're going to lose your blue star in short order. Does Will? Yes, Will overpopulates the blues, and so Tseiger having come down by a large ship, the players are now even on large ships. Tseiger, however, now has the only blue ship in the game. And Will's access to blue is pretty limited. Gosh. Oh, you know what? I wish we could go back by one turn. I wonder if Will should have actually overpopulated Tseiger's greens at home instead. Maybe? I don't know. Just idle thought. That would have left them with nothing but red at home. And Will could overpopulate those reds soon too, but Tseiger would have an intervening turn to reinforce. So, I don't know. Let's see what Tseiger does now in the aftermath. Oh yeah, so Tseiger's got the factory already. They can start cleaning out the blues. They take the last of the yellows. Okay, so Tseiger now has enough yellow to catastrophe Will's yellow star, and they're close to having enough blue. Tseiger is close to having the components, if not the positioning, for a Doomsday Machine. Will sacrificing y3 to bring... Ooh. Yeah, they want to overpopulate those greens. I approve of that. However, moving in that red, I don't know if that's the right move or not. I kind of don't think so. I think instead of moving in the red ship immediately, well, maybe that's not too bad. After this, we'll have the opportunity to build a large red or a large yellow. They can't build a large yellow though. That's their colony's too crowded. I think this is not going to work out. I think Tseiger will reinforce with, say, the large yellow. Will builds large red. Tseiger builds large yellow, and Tseiger is in a fine position. Will is far behind on blue and yellow, which are the key colors to victory when all of the home stars are blue and yellow. And I think Tseiger will win if Will does this. I think it takes him back too much. Better would be to just sacrifice a medium yellow to wipe out the greens. Okay, this is a preparatory move. This is pretty good. Now, if Will does a similar to move to what they wanted to do before, they can sacrifice the y3, move in 2 greens, and the large, so that Tseiger simultaneously loses their only large ship at home and gets invaded by a large ship. Will would definitely win in that case. But Tseiger has 1 turn to respond, and they've got a few options. One would be to sacrifice y2 and move 2 reds into the Hadar colony to get rid of that threat. One would be simply to move away one of these greens, or trade the B2, and by one of the greens I mean the medium, or they could trade the medium green for blue. And they move it away. Yep, that's just fine. Although they've lost their factory, but there's not a lot of building left to do anyhow. Okay, Wilf pushing forward a yellow. Having yellow closer to Seeger's home is good. It also spreads their yellows out so that if one becomes available for building, they've got more places to do it. Yeah, this is a yellow on Seeger's doorstep now, which is one ship in a Doomsday Machine, but they're going to need a lot more. Will's going to have a hard time getting the blue they need. I think Will should instead have built... Oh, somehow I thought this G2 was going to go back to the bank on Seeger's turn, but it didn't. Will's going to be locked out of blue and isn't ever going to make any progress here. I think Seeger is too far ahead in yellow and blue. Seeger spreads out the reds, reduces the risk of overpopulation there. Will just generally moving things forward. Oh, invading a colony. That's something anyway. They can just run away. Will can sacrifice and capture. Oh, interesting. They're reinforcing. That surprises me. I'm not quite sure what that's about. Seeger sacrificing a Y2 to invade. Oh, they were setting up for an investment build of this R3 star, and Seeger has just invaded that colony to prevent it and probably capture the little green. Well, maybe capture the little green. Will could, for example, sacrifice it to move it back home. No, let's see. They sacrificed the G1 over here. Yeah, sacrificing this G1 doesn't do them any investment good, since they don't have a blue to build with. Okay, just capturing the little colony ship out there. Seeger captures the little green. Will reinforces their home with a red. That I do like having a red at home, as I've mentioned a few times. Both players now have a happy home with 4 pieces, 1 of each color. Yeah, this is what this is what Seeger needs to do. Finish building the blues. Okay, Will trades for... Oh, I guess that's another reason to move a medium to your home, is so you can trade and actually have at least 1 blue ship. Will should probably move that blue ship away so they can build another one. Yep. And overpopulate if Seeger decides to build another blue. They take the yellow instead. Yeah, yellow's the color they need for demolishing Will's stars. Oh, that's good on Will. Well... Nope. Sacrificing it's not quite investment time. If they sacrifice the G1, all they build here is a medium blue, not a large. Honestly, I think they should build the medium blue just to keep it out of Seeger's hands. Seeger is so close to a Doomsday Machine. It's spooky. Will's not going to be able to get enough yellow for a Doomsday Machine. I think they should be trying to cut Seeger out of the blue so that Seeger can't complete. Let's see. So Will built red. This has turned out to be a pretty long game. Seeger sacrifices Y2 to move a yellow over to Jabba to cover that investment. So even if Will builds a B2 now, they won't be able to set up for an investment here. They won't be able to build that B3 so easily, sacrificing the G1 to green teleport back to home. Let's see. Oh, but that opens, let's see. Seeger, oh, how long has that been there? Sacrifices the G1, they get an investment build finally. And now Will takes yellow. That puts two yellows together. I would, if I'm Seeger, I don't want to let go of my Doomsday Machine, but I would consider sacrificing Y2 to move a couple more yellows into Caster to bring Will back down to just one large ship, their homeworld defender, while Seeger would have four large ships. And even with the reduced yellow, the setback in the Doomsday construction, I think that would be pretty close to victory for Seeger. All right, they build green. Will builds blue. Oops. Let's see. I tried to advance and it says this is the end of the arena season. Oh, I didn't know that that would consume an action in the log. Okay. So this started out as an arena game, but it turned into a training game because the arena season ended. Okay, I got it. All right, Seeger pushes forward a little yellow, threatening to catastrophe Will's yellows. Will, I don't see any major disadvantage to just moving the little yellow to Castra, for example. Yeah, that's what they do. Oh, so that's something. Seeger keeps pushing yellows. And now if Will moves away their large yellow, then they're susceptible to capture. So Seeger is kind of doing what I had suggested, but in a slow push, which causes them to only catastrophe Will's large yellow, not catching the medium yellow in the action. The other thing this has done is it's put a B3 back in the bank, which Seeger might have had the foresight to see that they're going to get the first opportunity to build it. At least I guess they might. If Will loses this Y3, then they could only overpopulate the three hypothetical blues of Seeger and Altair by sacrificing their last remaining yellow. Maybe that's what Seeger's got in mind. I don't know. Let's see what Will does. They run away with their large, but that's just going to let Seeger capture a bunch. And they take the reds. Ouch. Will sacrifices the R3 to capture a bunch back, but that's cut them down by a large ship. Now it's two larges to four, but Will has a lot of other material. They've got tons of mediums here, so maybe it's not too bad. I probably overestimate the importance of large ships. Ooh. Seeker sacrificing a Y3. Maybe it's time for a big play here. Ooh. Yes, indeed. Okay. Nope. I didn't see that. I've been trying to go too fast. Yeah, so they've sacrificed a Y3 to move a green all the way across the galaxy. And so Will needs to either capture that or they'll probably get overpopulated. I think this does in fact look like a death sentence for Will. Let's see if they come up with anything. Oh, Seeker takes it back. Maybe they saw a problem with it. I don't see the issue. Not offhand, anyway. But Seeker took it back. There must be a defense, but I'm trying not to analyze everything absolutely to death, so I'm just going to move on for now, but I'm going to want to look back and see what, see if Seeger saw a way out. Maybe there was some kind of counter invasion that would have worked out. I don't know. All right. Seeger instead sacrificing to do some builds, to build a bunch of red. Yeah, that's all right. Will can overpopulate the reds in Seeger's home, or the reds here in Altair. Either one would cut down on Seeger's large advantage. Yeah, I would strongly consider sacrifice y2 to move 2 reds into Altair. Sacrifice y2, move 2 reds into Altair. There it is. Yeah, so now it's 3 larges to 2, and Will has more mediums. Will still has this big vulnerability of having nothing but green at their homeworld, though. Trading red for yellow. Capturing that little yellow back from the slow push effort. Seeger looking again at that y3 sacrifice to send the g3 across the universe. This still looks like death for Will to me. I don't know what's changed since the last time that Seeger seems to think it works now, but wouldn't have worked before. Let's see if Will comes up with anything here. Sacrifices a y2 to bring a red home and a blue home. Okay, well that makes it so Seeger can't capture everything in one turn, but Will is left with far too little. Yeah, I don't think there's any fixing this. Will can build for a catastrophe to get rid of the large invaders, but not the others. Okay, well, that was a strong game by both players. No gigantic blunders, I don't think. There were a few things I would have done different that I called out, but probably as many of them were as improvements as worse moves. Definitely want to look back and see what Seeger seems to have seen, that they took back that invasion earlier. If you see it before I post anything in the comments about what was going on there, go ahead and post a comment and teach us all. Thank you. I guess that's it for now. Thank you for watching.